SMU and Tulane meet for the AAC championship game, and it's a game that features two offenses that look very different, but also two defenses that are playing much better than a lot of people anticipated. SMU kind of in a tough spot right now. I think losing Preston Stone for this game hurts quite a bit, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they're having an incredible season. The fact that they are in this conference championship game says a lot about how good they've played, what they've done under Rhett Lashley, and how this defense has stepped up. Because when you look at this team, you expected the offense to be good. You expected Rhett Lashley to be able to create explosive plays. What you didn't know was what is this defense going to do? Because for a long time under, well, I should say, under Sonny Dykes and for the beginning of Rhett Lashley's tenure here, the defense had talent. The question wasn't about the talent level. It's about the production. And they just simply did not get the job done. It was more of, okay, SMU is just going to try to outscore everybody. This year's been different. And I think it's helped on a way that Preston Stone's needed time to develop as a quarterback. And obviously, he's not playing this weekend, but that really helped the defense because it told this defense, we need you guys to compete. We need you guys to perform because if you don't, we're going to be in trouble. And the two games that I'll point out, Oklahoma and TCU at the beginning of the year, they started the year 2-2, and they've won 8 straight since. But those two games to me really stood out because Oklahoma was a team that was just destroying almost everybody coming in that first month. They gave up 28 points to Oklahoma. That kind of the writing was on the wall that this defense meant business. This defense knew that they could be a contributor. Now, giving up 34 to TCU was obviously a little disappointing, but it still was a message that this isn't your typical SMU team because that TCU game 2 years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago was a 45-42 barn burner. This is a defense that has taken a step up. This is a defense that has played at a higher level. And it's disappointing that Preston Stone isn't playing in this game because to me, I think that if Stone was playing, SMU would be favored. That's how good they are, and that's how well they've been playing, especially lately. They have been putting up points. And when the defense, I think here's the other thing when the offense has needed time, the defense has stepped up. Same way all the way around. When the defense has struggled, the offense has stepped up. So it's a good combination. Now you lose Preston Stone. What does that mean for a guy like Kevin Jennings? Is this going to be the same offense? Probably not. I'm not going to bet on that. I wouldn't say that. But I think they have enough talent around them, around Kevin Jennings, to be able to move the football efficiently. I think at worst, he just needs to be a distributor. He does not have to play hero ball. He does not have to be Superman. He just needs to get the ball to the depth of talent, the wealth of talent that they have at his disposal. They have a lot of depth at running back. They have a ton of depth at wide receiver. So there's a number of players that can step up. And if this defense, I think that you're looking at a defense that can do its part too. It's just a matter of what do you need? Because when you face Tulane, this isn't the same Tulane team as last year. This offense isn't as explosive as it was in 2022, but you still have to find ways to score because Tulane will put up points and it's still going to be a close game regardless of having Preston Stone at quarterback or Kevin Jennings. Like I said, you have plenty of options, you have plenty of speed, you have plenty of explosive players. It's just a matter of getting them the football and finding ways to get Kevin Jennings involved. Now, a lot of that goes on Casey Woods and Rhett Lashley to get him comfortable, to get him involved earlier. I'd like to see some screen passes just to get his confidence, see the ball being completed to the receiver. Maybe you throw slants, pitches, whatever you need to do to get him involved earlier. But keep in mind, Tulane is an extremely aggressive defense. They are disruptive. They will dominate at the point of attack if they need to. And that's going to test Kevin Jennings. So in a way, you can only do so much to get him acclimated to this game. At a certain point, you just have to be ready to play. You have to know that this is a big game. You are going to be required to step up. You don't have to be a hero, but you're going to have to make some plays for this team. Now, Tulane is really fun because, like I said, this is not the offense we saw last year, but this is a defense that is every bit as good as they were last year, maybe even better. I think that they have been electric up front. They lost their two best linebackers, and it feels like they haven't skipped the beat. No offense to Dory Williams and Nick Anderson. That's how good this Tulane defense has been. And those are two really talented players, some of the more talented players in Tulane's history. but they have been just fine. And a lot of that has to do with how they played up front. But this is a team that will not let up much running the football. The secondary is maybe where their weakness is, but I think that this is still a very tough team to move the ball on, and it's still a really fun team. You have a leader in Michael Pratt who is as resilient as they come. You don't have too many flaws with this team. You don't have too many concerns. It's just a matter of how well can they move the football offensively because we've seen at times explosive plays from this offense. It just hasn't been consistent. You have to find a way, especially against SMU, because the one thing we've learned this year is SMU's defense is much better than expected. So you're not going to just walk into this game like you have in the past and say, okay, well, we could probably score 30. We could probably put up this many points. You're not going to be able to do that this year. This is a much better SMU team, a much more talented SMU team, and that defense is going to give you trouble. You have to be efficient. You have to establish the run. You have to find ways to get your receivers involved because it feels like Tulane has they're like on this line of being able to explode through and having this breakout game. With you look at what they've had at wide receiver. Lawrence Keys has been fun. Quan Jackson has been, I think, a great option for them as well in multiple parts of the game, offense, special teams. And Chris Brazell has been just as fun too, the leading receiver for this team. But you have to find a way to move the ball efficiently. You have to find a way to create explosive plays because the opportunities to do that won't be as many against a team like SMU. SMU is such a good team where they're going to be able to challenge you. They are going to give you a lot of trouble, and you have to find and pick your battles and find ways to create those plays. This is still a really fun team to watch, though. Even if they're not scoring points, if you like defense, this is kind of weird to say. If you like defense, this might be one of the better games to watch this weekend. Tulane has so many good options up front, and one of the biggest things that they had happen this offseason was Patrick Jenkins coming back for another year. He has been a monster up front, and this defensive line has been great. Darius Hodges has been what we expected him to be, probably even more. Le'Veon Deal has been another guy. This defensive line, combined with the linebackers that have stepped up, have been a nice surprise for Tulane. This defense knows what they're doing. They know how to shut down certain offenses. And I think that they feel good knowing that Preston Stone's not playing. Now, are they going to overlook a guy like Kevin Jennings? No, they're going to take everyone serious. They know exactly what they need to do to win this game, but they're not going to just cruise through it. They don't think it's a cakewalk. They understand that winning back-to-back AAC championship games requires a lot more effort. This is winning a championship does not come easy. Now, when you're picking this game, if Preston Stone was playing, I would probably pick SMU. I think that that is enough of a difference to put them over the top. Now, the only way that I would pick SMU still is if Kevin Jennings looks very confident early in this game. If he looks like he knows what he's doing, if he looks like he is ready to contribute and not playing hesitant, then I would say SMU has a chance. I think when it comes to playing in a big game, a defense that's playing lights out, and an offense that knows how to get the job done and also how to win a close game at the highest level. That's why I'm picking Tulane. Tulane is going to win back-to-back championships, but again, it's going to be close. It's going to be fun, and not for the reasons that you probably would have thought in the past. But Tulane is so fun. They're a team on a mission, and they're looking to get back to the New Year's Six spot to prove once again that they can shock everybody and beat a Power Five opponent as the AAC champ.